The northeast side, it is Orangutan, Four Thrives and Ulf going at loggerheads to try and push past, because Four Thrives have control of this hill, have control of the ground. It's going to make things tricky in this area.
And that respite for Four Thrives has been very different from what we've seen throughout the entire event, always looking for opportunities to force themselves into weakened situations to get advantage from it. Here, thinking about the big picture, knowing they're relatively safe, they're comfortable, they're happy. They'll see if a mistake is presented towards them before they play their card. AGAL on the wrap back up. That three-man squad that got away, realistically, John, with Liberties in that situation versus the crunch in from Aurora. How long can they survive, and how long can Nick hold off potentially?
And they back off, Jackie. They are falling away from this, not wanting to get too far up and caught into this fight. You can get third-partied. Alola up on the high ground, a massive threat.
That's the thing. Killer Joe usually so keen for the close quarters engagements as well. It feels like he's your entry fragger, someone that's going to take those risks. Being knocked early left them more susceptible, so they attempt to backpedal. Lord resets, very elevated angle to peek down. Bullets barraging on target, but the longer he takes that fight, the more exposed he is to the hilltop side there that you've got from Alula. So can't overcommit. Killer Joe with a knock once more, back on his legs. Goat, it seems uncomfortable.
Killer Joe going down, Foosman backed off the angle again. And they are just getting forced into a difficult scenario here. Goats do still have force out in the open, but Alola just making life so difficult. Nobody's having a good time around these cliffs, but nobody's going down either, which is quite impressive stuff. But Moxie finally clocked by Quick. Able to slide away unnoticed. No, he gets found again. And that should be a flush, and likely Killer Joe going down too. So Goat cut in half here, Enigma Galaxy with a big opportunity.
There's just no exit path, John. You've got to stay close to the wall and fight up in person, or attempt for a quick getaway. Whatever you choose, Alula just leering over the edge, looking to convert from it. This extended battle between KRX and Aurora as well, leaving them worse for wear every minute that passes. The duo attempts to just get out on it, piece away from the situation, but Joel not given that gift. Another connection, that time it's from Flash Gaming, catching them on the exit with a rotate of the vehicle, only top left.
Moving in on that south side, a solo for Aurora. Goats do manage to get back up to 3. I thought they were going to lose Moxie, 2 players. Killer Joe does manage to somehow get rezzed there. A rotate in the shadow of the mountain, but the circle just keeps giving it to the high ground here. This is good for Enigma Galaxy, but Alola will survive for so much longer. The difficulty is the X-Force Reject are just still in this one. Still a threat, still breathing down their neck.
Seemed like that was nearly the go signal as well, called for. Enigma were looking right on the edge, debating whether or not they do swing off it if there was a peek out, a wide angle in play, but Foops is trying to keep himself close down to the ground behind the vehicle. Killer Joe in the back line, a similar situation. And they better hope they do it cleanly as well, John. Alula could peer over and attempt to clean up if they take sustained damage from this. No one wants to risk it.
Now RRQ in a really important fight right now. They're trying to push in behind Alula. If they get a chunk out team, things could change, but a stalwart hold and R3B on that long-range backstop angle is so importantly placed for them. He catches them on the crossfire, immediately shreds a player away from them. And that is great news. Not only that, but it gets the information over the rest of his team, where RRQ are approaching from, how many are they, what sort of angles are they playing around with. It is so invaluable to have that sort of stuff on side as Enigma Galaxy look to get rid of the remnants of Goat.
This time they clear on the edge. They knew Foops was knocked once again. The overinvestment from cleaning out the full squad isn't worth the risk though, so they won't go too deep into it. Stay in the angle where they know they're safe from the peak from Alula. Coops looking for a backside read as Killer Joe sits, staying warm by the burning building with Force miles away from assisting him.
Orangutan in the meantime tried to send forwards. They've lost a lot of health bar, but it looks like they may be able to res up to 3 if they're lucky. All while this is all unfolding, RRQ again suffering, but it's back and forth with Goat. And I think that might just spell the end for them. Only Killer Joe now remaining. the last to stand. Enigma Galaxy all too chuffed with this because they are in that 5th place spot now. GOAT desperately wanting to try and stay in the running for our last match, which is yet to come after this.
Oh, Satan spotting it. Seemed like there was the clear there over towards the vehicle. Good shots on target. Stop Killer Joe. Remove GOAT. They're out here. And that's the dream scenario. Licking your lips for Enigma Galaxy. They know that they'll be able to move themselves up. Cleaning limbs added to the total tally. The 4 players still remaining alive. We saw Force falling to RRQ that are trapped down in a divot right now. Resetting, playing inside of the smoke. Such a wide berth of space, though, with Silence keeping his sights on this position.
A lot of open angles for them to play around, but leaving this building is going to be so hard for Furia. With the angles that Enigma Galaxy, maybe not Alola, I think they're a little bit too far away to take shots out there, but the position that Enigma Galaxy have on this, they'll have the information. Actually, it might be pretty difficult for them to actually compete on that angle. So maybe AGAL could be more important on suppressing Furia's route out, but a swing down to the south could definitely be on the cards for Furia if they're able to find an opener, get rid of top in the process, maybe find a shot over towards Team Flash. So they do have options. But again, it just slaps bang on top of Enigma Galaxy right in the middle. And there's a big focus on the 5th place bubble with GOAT and Enigma Galaxy, but AGAL are there too. And they are right in that bubble contest as well.
And considering how this one potentially could have gone for them with the run-up onto Aurora as well, could have been a very different game for AGAL. Surviving far later than expected off the awkward encounter with the nades that came their way. The backline play from Doc that could have spelled defeat. But ironically, it's Aurora that are down to just the solo outside of the zone, and AGAL that still look to fight on for another day.
Top trying to creep up towards the hills here, but has to go open broadside towards Team Flash if he wants to make it. Furia up and into the foothills now. Yeah, I don't think the angles are there. Alola picking up more points as well. They're finding shots left and right, doing a lot of damage, but they have to crunch down south now. So leaving that position that's kept them safe for so long on the north side. Oh, continuing to just lose a player. Now they're down to 1. And they may not last too much longer. Indeed, they will fall. And it's Ulf out in 9th place.
Finished off there as Devil from Reject gets that last shot in with the Mini 14. KRX being shut down as the zone nips at their heels and the fight breaking out all across the battleground. 4 Fribes coming alive once again. See you later, top, as that's Enigma Galaxy with the spot from quite some distance. Up on top of the rock, Lord, living his movie. There could be so many free points to steal from the position they've got themselves into, John, and you can't get them out.
Just not going to be available to you, not on the cards. 4th Drive still taking a little bit of punishment on the off angle, but they do have to make a move fairly soon. They have to get these reses coming through. Tops 4 Flash is doing a little bit of work at suppressing Furia's position, but we're hopping on board with X-Force Rejects. This is the team looking to try and displace Alola, or indeed anyone above them, off of that top 13 spot, but they have to lead here with DK in the way. That's made very tricky. 4th Drives have the long-range angle, but Kevin opens up the bidding. There is damage pouring in, but no knocks are sticking. Not just yet. Finally, the first falls, and now it's 2 of them left to try and put something together.
So many of our squads going at each other right now. 4 Fribes seem to be taking the brunt of the damage as they fall one by one. Goodbye, good night. Reject could be going the same way as well, as GK have overwhelmed them on the close quarters engagement and picked them off. In the midst of all this, we saw some pot shots hitting onto Enigma Galaxy and leaving them down to just 1 man. It's only Lord that remains up on top of the high ground.
Some big shifts when it comes to the tables. As you say, Enigma Galaxy going down to 1, and AGAL breathing down their neck on location and on the points totals now. GOAT dropping to 7th place as 2 teams have now pushed past them. Alola continue to climb, and they make sure that RRQ is now a buffer place behind them, and GK could be next up on the chopping block if they can transition towards this low ground. So a lot of really important dynamics unfolding here when it comes to moving into this final game, and that is a helping hand of a circle towards AGAL.
The benefit of Alola for so long finally starts to slip through the fingertips. Lord still in a position to play off the angle he secured for himself, whilst everyone else fights at the bottom of the tower, looking to climb over one another to guarantee themselves more from this match. Trying to stay as tight to the wall as possible as to not be shot from below or above. Ayala with a vehicle looking for the move round. Alula having to advance as well. You got the split on either side, it seems. A stereo rotate for Alula and Geeke.
A two-pronged approach. See if the horns connect. Ooh, OG losing another. I feel like for the teams in first, second, maybe even third, they're going to start to feel safe moving into this last one, but everybody else playing for keeps here. Furia wanting to find these shots, but not quite connecting. The nades not quite getting the distance on the arm there for Flash. I mean, it's a bit maybe overzealous to try and connect onto this. But both teams out of the zone need to try and regroup. And AGAL want to be the lobby commanders to make this one work. And nade downhill has a little bit more legs to it, but doesn't quite find the target. Now Flash are up and into the hill, so it's just got a little bit more dicey.
Keeping the pressure on either side. Nades towards the top for a peek over from Lord, making sure it's uncomfortable for him and the solo from AGAL that's looking to defend that engage from Furia. Surprise Flash are still alive, and Lord actually does get the peek in onto Furia. Still no trade back towards him. So although it's only a solo, Enigma Galaxy being a thorn in the side of the squads beneath them here.
Alula on that north side, looking to keep the pace going. Coming off of a strong game on the last one. Now they're up to 9 elims again as well. And on this north side, they've got that high ground command that they were looking to try and sequester away. How high can they climb, though? Furia backs to the blue. They're a little bit more desperate now. And around the corner they go, locking themselves into the vehicle. Team Flash suffering, trying to find a challenge, but it doesn't connect. Is there a third party from AGAL? Doesn't look they find anything, but Bose steps up. It's rebuffed by Lord. Enigma Galaxy up on high, still here to play.
Stealing away elim after elim in all of the commotion. That puts him up to 6 individually. 3 to his name. Make that 4 as he continues to spray. Lord with the eyes in the sky, punishing down now as Enigma Galaxy keep the heat on Furia. Switches the detention round to AGAL as well. They're coming in to close the gap. Goodbye, Flower Age. It's uncomfortable. Ayala holds his own. Good defense. Damage done. XEZ trapped.
You've also got Igor to play on the angle as well, and there goes AGAL. Dropping down. They do manage to ladder up, but remember, the placements haven't kicked in for Enigma Galaxy just yet, so they will be in the top 5 going into the last one, and Lord is not done. Is there nothing this guy can't take a chunk out of? Everybody stepping forwards, and everybody wants to find out just who's up on that high ground.
The Lord of the Mountain. Anyone that dares to challenge him has been dethroned. And the longer he lives on, John, the less ammunition remains. Running low. The economy now playing a pivotal role. How much more can he squeeze out of this? Switches to the Mini 14. Bang on the head. Goodbye, OG.
Wow, goodness me. They eliminate themselves up another place, and 4 teams remain at this stage. It's Alula who have done bits now here to solidify themselves into the top 16. They've almost, so the top 13. It's fairly certain that they may have done enough here, which is a great relief for them, I'm sure, guaranteeing themselves a solid double-digit game coming on in. As Geeke try to crawl their way around the edges. Quick, oh, you can't be going out that far in the blue, goodness me. Loses his footing somewhat, and the most of his health bar too.
More of their utility force to be reinvested to get themselves healthy to contest from here. Furia somehow living on borrowed time with some of the awkward fights they've had to even get this far into the runnings. Lord knowing he can't risk too many engagements that won't result in a clean pick with the low ammunition left in reserve. Geeke and Alula not too far from one another. This could all change in an instant, John.
A single pick. I mean, the fact that Lord is low on ammo is so important for Geeke here. Their survival would be all but diminished in its entirety if they do find it. But there's a first knock over towards Kike. Alula dancing around. Silence does connect, but he has to go for the reload. In the meantime, Lord pinches a point away with some of his precious ammo at range, and he finds more too. Down to his last magazine though. 31 rounds for Lord. He's got 2 nades, but has to back off.
He's got an angle to get his HP back, doesn't need to overinvest. He's already started to break the backs of everyone that's dared to defy him from this angle. Let them fight amongst themselves. Furia putting pressure on, but they're not ready from the peak from the top. Lord, 2 nades in the back. Let's see if these will pay off. Cooked nicely, rolling down the hillside. Alula already still the point on the Furia.
1 more nade for Lord. Drops it right on top of the heads. Looks for the shots, gets 1 knock, but it's now up to Alula, who are looking to charge themselves up. Gain some pace over, and they are able to find it. The high ground was indomitable, and Alula take a 12 Elin chicken dinner.
The twists and turns on the narrative. Miramar delivering with madness in the desert as squads had to desert all hope the longer that went on, knowing the high ground was irrecoverable. Lord up on high, and he saw everything, John. The difference is, with ammunition running low, he did what he could, and he stole far more points than it felt like he was going to get from that one.
Absolutely. I think it was at least 6 eliminations for him, maybe even 7. So the team is going to be chuffed to bits with a 3rd place off of that location. You can see Enigma Galaxy. They are happy. Yeah, okay, yeah, get that celebration in. You love to see it. And they are feeling good because that is going to put them nice and deep into the top 5, Jackie.
That's an unbelievable game of Miramar there, mate. A lot of excitement, right? And you think about how awkward it was for them, constantly trapped with Alula staring at them for so long. They're thinking, do we really commit to the fight versus GOAT? Lord made the heads-up play to climb up. The zone gave them a blessing, and they ran with that as long as they could. Shocking scenes from Alula as well, just always making it uncomfortable for all of these squads. And John, I'm shocked Furia survived that long.
I am too. I feel like they were really on their last legs for so many times. But to get to 2nd place is a real testament to their transitional ability. From that location on the southwest side, they picked their path well, taking that fight with Flash. It was stymied, it was corralled, but it was fought well and with good heart for Furia. Happy to see them getting later into this one. Alula, though, the big news here is, of course, their ascendancy away from that bubble at the bottom of the tables. And with a game like that, are they not too far off top 5? I mean, it's possible if they could do it again. I feel like there is potentially something on the cards. It would be a miracle.
Hey, man, they said we can fix things in the last 2 games. That's 1/2 already secure. Have another big performance, give us another reason to get excited. Come out here and wax lyrical with the plays that they can deliver. It could all change. It's why it's so enticing today. It's why it's so explosive. These teams know. One mistake, you could have your key crushed and your dreams going with it.
Yeah, 3 keys will be listed for destruction. By the end of today, we will have those 3 keys named and locked and loaded, ready to go. We are going to go and take a look at some of what our sponsors have to say before we come back with our final match. So do not go anywhere. We'll see you guys in a few.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
All right, we popped hopped on over to the SDC Arena for our final CC update, and I managed to grab 2 people to help us talk through everything that we need to. Of course, we have Ginny, but we're also joined by Blaze. So, Blaze, let's start things off by breaking down what's going on here on your stage.
I mean, so it's absolutely insane. You know, when it comes down to the CC, you got 3 teams here that can really make a run for those club championship points. You got Falcons, 100 Thieves, and FaZe Esports. So when it comes down to those squads on your stage, they're going to be getting some help over here.
Okay, that's actually big, because this is an opportunity for a couple of those teams to actually get some more points that they need, Ginny. So talk to me about the CC implications that this could have, and if there are any other CC squads that might have some surprises.
Yeah, so when it comes to right now, we have 4 out of the top 8 that already qualified. So you got FaZe, you got G2, you got 100 Thieves, as well as Falcons. Very important to note, however, that G2 is not CC eligible because of the fact that they made too many roster changes after the deadline has already passed. They did knock Gentlemates into this lower bracket, and Gentlemates has competed before on COD, where they got 200 points. They competed in Valorant, where they also got 200 points, and they are yet to compete in Rocket League next week, where they have a pretty good roster. So for Gentlemates' side of things, like, they have to win this lower bracket game today to even be in the top 8 and get some points. My question then for you is, how realistic is that, considering what happened yesterday with the 3-0?
I mean, it was a 3-0. It was crazy. You know, I talked to some of the players, and they felt like they were playing a God squad over there.
Oh, wow.
But don't worry, the Gentle Suits are in the building, and if I've seen anything out of that amazing group, is that they can will their team through some crazy series to push them into the finals.
I love that. I love that, which means that there's definitely going to be some very exciting matches coming up over the next couple of days.
Yes.
So, of course, as we know more, we'll keep all of you updated and see how everything plays out.
Thank you, Genie, Glitter, and Blaze for the update with the CC, because things are getting spicy here at PMWC at EWC 26 as we're going to be heading into our final match of Group A. We will end up eliminating the bottom 3 teams. And talking about those bottom 3 teams, Lays, one team that was able to push themselves out of it from the beginning of the day, Alula, ended up getting that win as well.
Yeah, I just want to obviously mention to you guys at home, they started today with 21 points in the bottom 3. Now, they've had a nice trajectory so far and being able to sort of keep themselves within that middle, but then to skyrocket to a chicken dinner. And not only that, managed to get about, it was about 10 eliminations just before the fight with Furia when they're moving their way down off that peak onto the hill, and then they were able obviously to get that. But that wasn't without some help from one of our teammates who was sitting on the top peak there. But for this team, they clearly understand that these last 2 games are incredibly important. They have had a steady run throughout this. I mean, looking at this position here, they are actually sort of moving their way down on top of GK, which I thought, oh, okay. Obviously, they weren't sort of putting out that scout to see where Furia were at that moment. Furia were able to get like a couple of knocks on them, but they were able to reset and then get that win.
I have no idea how Fury just kept getting back up. They get knocked back up, knocked back up, knocked back up, and they got really deep in that game. I did not expect them to make it actually to a top 2 finish. That is very impressive. Just highlighting how relentless Fury truly are here, representing Brazil in Paris for PMWC. But the finishing moments here, Yasa giving it his best shot. But Lord in particular, here Niptura, oh my goodness, making it rain from this peak finish with that mini 14. He was holding on to his resources for as long as he really could, but eventually the circle had a different plan in mind.
No, he was exactly the right teammate to be up on top there, right? I think he was really, really good at sussing out exactly where everybody was. He was really good at getting those nades. Some of them went a little long, but a lot of them were right on target. I love the mini that he had as well. That was a fantastic weapon of choice to be up there. So all around, a really, 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 really good play coming from him. Really, yes. Really.
But really. And
But
really,
really.
Lore was able to put up good performance for Enigma Galaxy, being able to secure some extra placement points as well, putting up those. Oh man, look at us, Tomash. Let's go. 8 eliminations there from Lord, and the damage there as well. And this is a squad that's currently in contention for that top 5, and they were securing the top of that mountain.
Yeah, I mean, it was great to do that 3-1 split. That's what they had in the mid game. 3 players down below in the thick of it, fighting all the teams. There was Alula. There was even a side of Go at one point just coming their way. But no, Lord was trying to keep his teammates safe, but he could only do so for so long, right? Eventually, teams are going to be encroaching on his 3 teammates. They get eliminated, and then Lord is alone. But I like what he did because he knew he was limited in resources, right, Nictura? He was not able to really take too many shots. He just held onto those resources until the very end, where he could maybe convert that into a chicken dinner. As we know, that didn't happen. But podium, as a solo, that is huge regardless.
Huge indeed, as we're going to be taking a look at the overall. And I want you to keep in mind, top 5 go directly to the finals. Bottom 3 gets in home, and the ones in between get to go to survival. 4th thrives, still in the first place, but just like actually, let's just focus on 4th all the way to 9, because 4th place with Aurora Gaming, they have been playing great today, but they just haven't been able to create such a big gap, as they only have 82 points, 4 points more than AGAL in 6th place.
No, they do. It's going to be interesting. I have noticed that Aurora have been stepping up, right? They felt that pressure a little bit. They've realized, like, oh, it's not really going our way. We got to up our game a little bit. It is working now. So they are at 82 points. Yeah, it's still going to be all down to the wire in this last game, but at least they're already there. You know, teams like Team Flash are also already there, but 2 points ahead of AGAL. GOAT team as well. Furia climbing up those ranks. They were not in 8th place a few games ago, Max.
Yeah, I mean, really looking at the teams in the top 5, 4 thrives, they're safe. We know they're going to make it. They're going straight into your PMWC Grand Finals. Orangutan, I would say, also somewhat safe, right, going out to this one, because right now they're above the likes of Nigma Galaxy, Aurora, Team Flash. We're looking at Aurora Gaming and Team Flash in particular here. They need a big game, Lace. If they do not get that performance here, all gamers, GOAT team, Furia, you know they're going to chase them down for that top 5.
Yeah, they need to make these opportunities for themselves. And what we're seeing a lot of teams do is kind of letting just the cookie crumble how it will. These players need to start obviously creating these opportunities and making the lobby play to their way. And I must say that from that game, Furia did that. I would kind of call them like the mountain goats of PUBG, because what is with them being able to scale up a mountain, absolutely decimate in every way, which form. But it's good to see Alula here, obviously moving up with 63 points, definitely securing that place out of the bottom 3. Now, I do want to sort of touch on, I guess, a little bit more of like Thunder talk. Out of that game, this is crunch time for them. They're under pressure. And look, they had a push from Aurora in the building, and they showed no presence, Max. They just sat down there. They didn't create any space, no presence, and got absolutely rolled by Aurora.
Yeah, and they have the cloak of invisibility, but no one told them to take it off right now. It's time to take it off. They're looking at this one. The point gap is 12 points between X-Force Rejets and RRQ. I would say you are teams in the bottom 3. You have to hot drop RRQ. I'm sorry, it is time. If you don't do it here, you're going right home right away, straight to Charles de Gaulle. And as we know, that is not where you want to be.
We usually hate to see the hot drops, but in situations like this,
do it.
You gotta take destiny into your hands. And yeah, you're absolutely right, Lace. They have to do it.
Yeah, and look, this is what I'm saying, where create your game. Make these plays to position other players into moving and having you create that space. Like, even if they were to look at, you know, players like Alula, who were in the bottom, they actually forced GK to rotate into Furia. They made that play. And these bottom teams need to be able to do that as well.
Yeah, they need to be able to do that, and they need to be careful with teams that are going to be towards the top, like none other than... Who's that? Who's this? Oh, it's the best content creator for PUBG. Come up here, baby. Come up here. You know what? You don't even have to go that way. Just step over the chairs. You got this.
Hey.
Parkour. The beast. With 4 thrives currently in first place. Oh, put him on. Put him on. Oh, you should have told me. I would have brought mine too. But my Naki is here. And Naki, the team is currently sitting in first place. How are you guys feeling?
Alhamdulillah, we are feeling great. We are having a great moment.
Ooh, yes, you guys are. You guys have OG currently chasing you for that first place. Whoever gets first place gets to crush some keys. But how are you enjoying Paris so far?
Paris has been really great for us. The weather here is so beautiful. The city is so beautiful. We are really excited to visit the sites.
You're really excited to hopefully end up lifting that trophy. Max, you got any questions for Naki?
What do you think of French people like myself? The locals.
Bonjour,
do you like
bonjour.
That definitely answers my question. Thank you very much.
That is a great one. From what you guys have seen, going back to the game, from what you guys have seen so far out of day 1 and day 2 here, has there been anything that ended up surprising the squad?
OG has definitely been a surprise for us. Like, they're playing really good. Their decisions, I haven't really looked at them that much, but their decisions are really good.
Yeah, their decisions have definitely been good. And for everybody currently watching, don't forget that you can experience the PUBG Mobile fan experience because it is gonna be open from August 11th through the 16th. Go enjoy some of the exciting activities, not only PUBG Mobile and Naruto Shippuden, the amazing collab that we're doing, but also PUBG Mobile, Spider-Man, everything cool going on there. You can earn some exclusive rewards, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, I'm with you, Naki. I mean, I'm with what you were saying in regards to OG has been able to surprise a lot of those teams. And then towards the bottom, you're seeing some teams that I thought were going to end up performing better too with extra rejects. But with this one, who's going to be your top 5? I mean, it's pretty much set, but who is actually going to be your top 5? Tell me your predictions.
I mean, there's only last match remaining, so I don't see that there are going to be a lot of changes to the top 5. But the teams on top 5, yeah. OG, definitely. 4 Thrives, as we know.
I mean, you kind of have to pick them. Come on now.
And Aurora is playing really consistent. And I hope FL qualifies. They are really my best friends. And one remaining?
Yeah, one. I think if I'm doing the math, Max, math right? One more? Yeah, one more.
Would be good, yeah.
OG 40, FL, Aurora, and KRX.
Ooh.
Oh, nice one.
KRX. Okay, I thought you were going to go with a different one like Enigma Galaxy, but thank you so much for joining us. Lace, Max Benatura, myself, 7WG. But ladies and gentlemen, it's time we go into the final match of Group A. Who's going to end up winning it? Who's going to end up in the bottom 3 and get sent home? Let's send it over to none other than John Allen and Jackie.
Oh yeah, it's time to get stuck into the final map for Group A. 3 teams on the chopping block, but those initials yet to be carved. Who will be taking up that chisel and taking down their opponents? Only time will tell, and 5 teams will rise right to the top. Cream of the cream, or creme de la creme, as they say here in Paris.
Maximum way. That's what I'm expecting to see here live in Paris. It's going to get explosive, John. It's going to get enticing. And from what we've seen over the course of the day, it should all build to an absolute blistering affair here in our culminating game. Our last battleground, Miramar, once again on the cards. And you're right, that sharpened steel of the Butcher Blade is getting ready to chop. And those keys will be crushed. Barney will be there on stage, literally grinding all of these teams' efforts into a pulp.
Well, not all of the teams.
No, those teams.
Yeah,
just
three.
those teams.
Yeah, okay.
All of those teams.
You're getting ahead of yourself,
Sorry,
man.
mate. Yeah,
I know we've got to chuck most of them into the grinder. Only one key will eventually remain. But we've got to get there first, and we've got to do it bit by bit. It's incremental, you know. But we do get to do 15 at once towards the final, so make sure you're going to check that one out as we take our final steps onto the plane with Group A. Miramar has never been hotter. It's time to decide who will move forwards.
Now you can see the keys around the crusher. Our team's deep in fort, getting their last minutes in before we kick this one live. Get back into the plane path and set things off. The players, the organizations, the hopes and dreams. The atmosphere is good here in Paris. You can feel it. Tension, you could cut with a knife for some of these squads. And for the top end, John, as much as you're not fighting to lose your chance in the tournament, you certainly are putting your neck on the line to make sure you guarantee a chance to skip that survival stage.
Absolutely. Top 5 is so valuable here. Interesting predictions coming out from Noki back over on the desk as he found himself over the back of the chairs and immediately thrust into doing Max 7 and Neptura and Lace's job, you know. Apparently we had to draft in some outside help there, but I think 4th Rise OG, yeah, 100% I agree on that. Aurora, I think is a fairly safe bet. I feel like not including Enigma Galaxy in the top 5 was a bit of an outside chance. And then even further beyond that as outside chance, KRX being in the top 5 for him. I feel like that's maybe what he wanted to happen. Not what is probably going to happen.
I mean, that's his personal ideal top 5, right? That's his take on it. So it's fair enough, man. Exciting teams. They've certainly all given us something to rave about over the course of yesterday and today here at PMWC. Live from EWC 26. The big 26, John.
God, imagine. I remember when it wasn't 26. Just last year, actually, it was.
No, 25.
Yeah,
and the year before that, 24.
No, it wasn't. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it wasn't 25 the year before that. Come on, don't be silly. Southwest Circle, as the plane path goes straight down the middle of this one from Partona up towards San Martin. It looks like we are going to be heading down towards that Chumacera Hills area, the Ladriera dual peak lines over on that western side. Going to be a major feature there, so transitional areas around there, highly coveted. A lot of ground on the south side is slightly treacherous. Potential to see teams rotating down through Partona, trying to get access to the west, but more than likely, we're going to see a long rotate over on the north side, coming down on that west edge, past El Pozo, to try and push themselves towards those Ladriera Hills.
Oh, with the stage set and the potential for the best, and the squads at the bottom established, so you know what results we'll be looking out for on this one. We'll delve into it and get an eye line. We heard the analyst saying at times like this, you need to really invest that risk versus reward. You can't play it overly safe. You can't leave your fate in hands of other teams. That goes both ways, John. If you want to try and push into that top 5, or if you're looking to actually keep yourself in the competition, not lose those keys. We'll see if there's any forced fights, if the early game is a bit different. Some of the indecision we've seen from squads. You look back, right, what we saw from TTG. Moments of difference where maybe if they just committed that risk factor, could have given themselves a little bit more stock to play with. We'll see if that changes here and now.
I mean, right now for X-Force Rejects, they're sat 12 points behind RRQ. That is a big gap to make up. It's going to be very, very difficult to do that, and even further behind for the teams behind that as well. So I'm really not holding out hope. I feel like we may already have our top 13. I don't want to jinx it for RRQ, but I feel like I'm fairly confident in saying that, especially given where RRQ are on the map, down towards Biodemar already, pretty much slap bang in the center of this circle. Yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult to try and jump up there and change things on that front. Would require something quite special, but there are quite a few teams, I think, who could realistically jump into the top 5 here, depending on how Flash, Aurora, Enigma Galaxy do in this game. There are potentially opportunities to jump on through and see what you can get done for maybe, I mean, maybe down to 9th, but maybe even Ulf could give it a fair crack, if not Alula, which is a very outside chance. But 17 points, as we were saying, you know, the 12-point gap feels pretty dastardly to try and get past, but with the form that Alula are on right now, it might be doable. 17 points.
Yeah, they've been looking far better, been hitting some good strides, and definitely guaranteeing themselves at least more of a safety net to play with from slipping deeper down into the depths. Rising, though, and attempting to climb does kind of rely, like you say, on a few of our squads that have been those point vacuums, those absolute hoovers towards the top side, effectively just falling early, having some kind of breakdown that opens that door for an overlap for a squad to find a way in. So a lot riding on it on the individuals. A lot of small storylines in this one. We'll keep you dialed in with the narrative.
Trying to play small ball and keep yourself rolling straight down the track to the top 5 at the moment. I mean, the differential between these teams are really to jump up towards that top spot. So very volatile, even at this late stage. 12 out of 12, we're at the full fraction. No more matches after this one, and it is still very much all to play for. Unless you're 4th drives, then you're pretty much guaranteed to be in already.
They've done more than enough with the plays that they've made over the course of the past 2 days, John. Looked very, very exciting to watch. It would be a real shame not to have them there, to be honest, mate. I feel like it would be a big blunder. So glad they've already proven just how hard they're willing to play here live from Paris. We've heard the arena getting absolutely ballistic time and time again when you see pop-off plays. Hell, even just from one individual, right? Falak starts to go huge. This place gets loud.
I feel like Falak does anything, this place can get loud, I think.
True.
That's, you know what? That's exactly the sort of support that has seen them into the top place right now. It's exactly the sort of support that saw them to first place back in PMGO as well. A global title spurring them on. And a second in their sights. We'll have to wait a little bit longer to see if they can do it, but it's almost certain that they're going to have a crack. Aurora, in the meantime, a lot less certain, but in a scrap with RRQ and Furia. RRQ, remember, the bubble team at the bottom, do not want to be going down early.
No, you could see that kind of kicking in, the immediate reaction when they thought, hang on, I've got a line of sight to try and take a pick here over onto them. Throws a few bullets out, but doesn't want to overcommit. Far riskier for RRQ than it is for Aurora. And Furia, if they see weakness, they might attempt to dogpile on top of that and backstab towards Aurora. It's calmed down off the initial shots that were fired out. But you're still nearby. No safety yet, and that's only the one man from RRQ as well with the split they went for, so it's a lot riskier trying to keep his nose clean and out of trouble.
Ooh, a little bit of trouble finds OG though. On the north side, looks like a little bit of a traffic jam between two of our teams towards the bottom and our second place team, OG. Having a little bit of trouble here, a little bit of strife. And that's going to be another nade launched over the top. The knock not yet back up, and Swash does get flushed away. Shiva to be able to claim that one. Potential wraparound here for Rolex, but he's spotted and handled. X-Force Rejects seemingly in charge of this fight against Gaming Stars as another flush comes on through. Yusuf and Maniac trying to piece themselves back together, but boom goes the dynamite. Leaves Maniac flagging. Nothing more to be said.
That was quick. It was clean as well, and that's what you need. Good plays made. They're going to be able to shut him down and remove G-Star from the competition off the back of that, make it far more uncomfortable for them, as they now know there is nothing they can do for themselves in this situation to rise up the ranks. They're left dead last in that position, whilst Reject claim 4 points. They've got to do a whole lot more, John, but that's a brilliant start.
They've got to get a whole lot further down south as well now. For X-Force Rejects, they have to move 4 points ahead.
KRX on the ramp over the top, hitting the show-stopping plays, but can they actually punish with the shots? Close quarters combat from Hooksy, good for one, but a right hook straight back in his face. And for Reject, it went from a nice start to a punishing position. Damage done onto 3 players for KRX though. It's just Trey left, spams bullets onto Reverb. Starts to put them in their place, but recovering from this is going to be awkward. Both teams suffering massive losses.
Shiva not in the fight, a little bit too further afield and already locked down. That's going to be a lot of points added to RJC's total, but they are losing players left and right. Now playing on as 2, they disengage with 7 eliminations. They are getting closer and closer to RRQ as time goes by. And X-Force Rejects with a chance, but yeah, that gauntlet, like I was saying, is such a tough pass. The third party coming through, it's pretty impossible to make that one work. But KRX falling in the meantime as well. A little chime in coming through from OG, helping them out there, adding some more points to the RJC tally.
And OG keeping themselves in a very comfortable position, seeing if they can chase towards 4 Thrives.